Welcome to Pammie Plus Parks. I'm Pammie, your plus-size fairy godmother, bringing you all the magic Disney has to offer plus-size people. And if you're watching this on June 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, you're watching me live. If you're watching it any other time, it's pre-recorded, but it's still awesome. So tonight, I wanted to do my monthly update for you. I like to kind of touch base with you guys at least once a month. Joanna, you are first. And just kind of let you know what's going on with the Pammie Plus Parks channel, kind of talk about stuff I've been working on, what I'm going to be releasing soon, and any developments with the channel and any expectations and things I have going on. And I kind of want to share that with you and get your feedback. I love hearing from you, all of your creative thoughts and ideas and everything that you have to say about Pammie Plus Parks and what you want to see in the videos and what you're looking forward to at the Disney parks. And Andrea second. So let's get started with it. First of all, you guys may have noticed a little bit of a change with the last several videos. And if you remember, I had some problems with my Canon G7X and it had some audio issues. So all the video that I took in the parks had terrible audio and I had to kind of narrate over the audio here in my home studio. And as it turns out, I was able to kind of augment what I had taped in the parks and actually give you a little bit more detail. And the videos were a little bit longer, so I was kind of worried you guys would tune out and you wouldn't be interested in them. But as it turns out, you guys seem to really like the longer videos and more detail. So you sent me a lot of messages, a lot of posts here on YouTube and in the Pammie Plus Parks Facebook group. So anytime you have any feedback like that, I mean, obviously I can see based on like who's watching and how much they're watching. It also helps to hear from you what you guys think. And so Karen says she likes the new format. Andrea likes the longer videos. Okay, well, I can definitely do that for you guys. A little more detail. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the compliment about my shirt. I got this shirt at Torrid probably a few months ago. I don't know if they still have it in stock, but I think I paid like $16 for it. Oh, good. Heather likes the longer videos also. So yeah, that's something I'm going to definitely want to keep up on for you. Hi, Linda. You know, if you like that extra detail, have you guys noticed that I've been also including things about disabilities, mobility issues, mobility devices in the queues and how you board? I've tried to also keep in mind that a lot of you're traveling with people who have mobility issues, and you also, that was my dog, I don't know if you heard that, that was Daisy. You're also traveling with your, oh thank you, the necklace is from my husband. It was Valentine's gift, and it's a river rock from Michigan, and it has my two favorite colors, green and purple, in it. You do, oh, so Karen does like the accessibility information. Joanna also likes the longer videos. Yes, and I'm also trying to keep in mind that a lot of you are traveling with kids too. I don't have children, but I try to keep in mind that a lot of you guys do. So you want to know all that information as well. So I'm going to definitely continue to include that if it's something that you really like and you enjoy and you find useful, so that it's not just a resource for plus size people, but it kind of covers everything. Heather says her grandmother's 75 and loves all the rides, even the crazy ones, so it helped a lot knowing which ones that you'll need to help her with going in November. So excellent. I'm glad to know that. That's definitely going to help you out. So I know that visually showing you stuff is one thing, but I try to tell you about what to expect as well. So I'm glad that's helpful. I'm glad you like that change. Now going forward, I have a new camera. Canon's amazing. I sent them the camera, thinking they would maybe fix it, and they gave me a brand new one. So the camera I have now works fantastic. It has audio, and as you notice from the Slinky Dog and Alien Swirling Saucers videos, you know, I was able to capture all the audio and video I needed in the parks, but I still augmented at home. So that's something you might see continuing going forward, where I'll capture as much as I can in the parks, because I think it's more exciting to have the park background and the rides background, the atmosphere. But I'll also augment at home with any extra details I may have missed while I'm in the park, because it can be hard, even when you have a list of things that you're trying to remember to talk about. It can be hard when you're trying to do it right there in the parks. It's sometimes easy to forget some of those details, but I'll remember to fill them in later here in the studio at home, so you'll see that format going forward. So what I have left to do for Toy Story Land is the Toy Story Mania ride, and I'm actually planning to go to the park sometime in the next few weeks and actually capture that ride again. And I don't know if you guys are annual pass holders or if you got the email about the annual pass holder play date, I think they called it. It's a special like extra magic hour for pass holders. Oh, hi, Tiger Lily Gypsy. Hi, thank you for stopping in. They sent out an email to a bunch of pass holders who were like silver, gold, and platinum level pass holders, inviting them to find a slot, an hour-long slot, to go into Toy Story Land early in the morning to go ahead and check out the park. Now, I've already been, and I know a lot of you have been as well, but I wanted to go back again, and I need to do a video for Toy Story Mania to kind of round out the 3 rides in that land. And I did get a lot of footage on the opening day, but there were a lot of crowds there, and I hear if you go very early in the morning, and clearly for this pass holder event, hopefully it won't be as packed and I can get some more details for you of what the park looks like. And so I'll do a Toy Story Mania video, and I'll also do a Toy Story Land overview video. Oh, Joanna, thank you for the compliment about the new intro music. That is something else that's new about the videos. I have been pestering Mark to write me a new theme song, and he's like, oh, I can't, that's not really my style of music. So we were at Magic Kingdom one day, and we were passing by the Casey's Corner area where there's that like mirrored piano, and the guy was playing the ragtime music. I'm like, can you do something that's kind of like that, sort of like old-timey and ragtime, but a little bit more pop music-y and sort of upbeat? And oh, thank you. I love purple too, Tiger Lily. I think it looks nice on everybody. It's one of my favorite colors. So yeah, you know, he heard that, and he heard what I was looking for, and he spent a couple of hours back here in the studio, and he knocked out like the bare bones of it, and then after that he just asked me for a little input here and there as he fleshed out the music piece. So he created an entire 3.5-minute piece of music for me, which is amazing, which I love, having my own original music. And he's going to do some other pieces for me going forward too, depending on like different seasons and stuff like that. Maybe during the holidays he'll add a holiday twist to it and that sort of thing. So it's really cool to have him help me work on the videos. It's always more fun when he's like more hands-on with it. So Toy Story Land, yeah. Toy Story Mania video will be coming out, and then also a Toy Story Land overview. Thank you, Carol. The shirt, I got this shirt from Torrid, and they have, although I don't think this particular style is available any longer, they have similar styles. This is like a kimono style top. I don't know if you can see the sleeve. They always have gorgeous stuff, and they have great stuff in their clearance area online and the racks store too. Fantastic. Always get great deals. So I'm kind of excited about the Toy Story Land preview. I'm a little disappointed that not as many pass holders got to go as wanted to. I heard that they ran out of slots at like 2 hours into the event. So that's kind of disappointing. And I feel bad not more people didn't get to take advantage of it. But I did try to post a link for you guys in the Pammie Plus Parks Facebook group so that you could try to take advantage of it if you're an annual pass holder who would be in town during that time period. So I don't know, if you happen to be there on August 7th, you might see me there. My slot is from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then I might stick around, or I might go to another part of the park. I'm not sure. So Carol says she's going to spend a ton of money at Torrid soon using her Haute cash. I know, I hang on to that stuff. Teresa says, found your vlogs yesterday and subscribed, so I haven't had a chance to check out all your videos. Have you, or would you consider doing Universal Parks too? They are not as fluffy friendly as Disney. And Gina says she really likes all my videos. Thank you, Gina. Teresa, there's nothing I would love to do more than to also cover the Universal Parks. However, it's expensive. And many of you may know that I recently monetized this channel. It just has been monetized for just about a week. That means ads are placed on the videos, and I earn a small amount of money on the ads. And by small amount of money, I mean per view. I get like something like 0.001 cents per view. In other words, 1/100th of a dollar. I think you have to view a video has to be viewed about 2,000 times before I make one full dollar on it. So I think if I'm lucky, I will make about $30 a month from monetization. And my goal with the money that I get from the ads, of course, is to, I have opening an account, a bank account for it, and just stuffing it in there and putting it towards renewing my passes this coming 2019. And I was not going to renew my passes. In fact, for 2018, we almost didn't get any passes at all, but I started this channel in August of 2017, and it started to pick up really quickly. And my husband's like, well, we'll give it one more year. And he's like, after this year, we're done, because financially we have other things that we need to do, other financial goals we have to accomplish. So, you know, what we're going to do for 2019 is Mark's not going to get an annual pass. I'm going to get an annual pass, and I'm going to take the money I earn from this channel and put it towards that. Hey, Alex. So that's how I'm going to try to make it work for this, for the Disney parks. And that's something I wanted to run by you guys. Gina says, would it be possible to do a video on nice spots to take a break at Disney? I'm actually working on that. I'll talk about that in a minute. So yeah, what I'm hoping to do, what I wanted to run by you guys is, I have some opportunities that have come up. I was contacted by a clothing company, not Torrid. And Carol says, I can go to Universal for free, but don't want to since I will not fit on the rides. Well, let me see what we can do about that in the future. So I have a clothing company that has approached me and asked me if I would be willing to try their clothing and see what it's like. And once that happens, these bangs are crazy. Once that happens, it could turn into, Joanna's going to be in Disney World August 6th, going to the hotel, but staying for 2 weeks there, hopefully. Maybe she'll see me. You might see me there. That might turn into something where they may ask me to do a review of their clothing if I like it, and I won't review it if I don't. Hi, Serena. That could be an opportunity for me to work with other clothing companies. I'm kind of working on something with the company that I get my eyeglasses from. I have an affiliate membership worked out already with Torrid, which I haven't started to implement yet. But I kind of wanted to check out and get, you know, kind of take a temperature here with you guys. What do you guys think about me including links to the clothing places, the eyeglass places, different services and goods that I use that I actually like? And kind of like maybe even give you reviews of certain clothes, or would you like it if I went to a Torrid store? I have a friend who's a manager of one and maybe did a little try on of all their Disney clothes or something like that. Would you guys like that? Would that be something you would be up for seeing? Would you want to look at that and then have a link so you could go and shop for those things? That would be a great way for me to generate income for the channel. And again, income for the channel would go into a bank account, which would then finance things for the channel. I can't pronounce your name. Elif, I am so terrible. But she says, he or she says, hi, Pamela. I just wanted to let you know that I think what you do is so terrific. Your calm and modulated voice is perfect for relaying information, so calming. Nice. Carol also says, love your videos. Your confidence has really helped me keep up amazing videos. Link stuff would be awesome to see fashion in our size. I am a fashion idiot. I'm a fashion idiot too, but I just wear what I like. But that's the thing, you know, there's so many wonderful, wonderful, gorgeous, beautiful, plus-size fashion vloggers out there, and there are really not very many who are my size, like a 30, 32, at the top end of the range of the plus-size clothes. And I'm 48 years old. I have gray hair, you know, wrinkles, saggy skin. I'm not a model like these other beautiful girls are. So is that something you even want to see? Or, you know, and I have a tendency to be a little more conservative in my clothing choices. So, you know, I want to know. Tell me in the comments what you think. If that's something you want to see me do. Do you think I should do it in a separate channel? Or do you want to see it in this channel? Give me some of your ideas and your feedback. Or do you want this channel to stay strictly Disney? So that's like an opportunity of things that I have coming up. And I kind of want to take advantage of that because people have asked me to cover Universal Studios. And I would love to do that for you guys, but in order to do it properly, I need to have an annual pass just like I do for Disney, so that I can make sure I can go back and return over and over again and kind of become an expert at Universal like I have become at Disney. Another thing that I can do also is start a Patreon account. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but Patreon's like a website that you can go to, and people can basically sponsor you there. And they can sponsor you at different dollar levels, like 50 cents, $1, $2, $5, $20, $50 a month. And I believe you can also do single donations as well. And people can set certain financial goals like Universal passes, Disney passes, that kind of thing, and you can contribute to those specific things, and it will help me be able to afford to get those things. Let me know if you think that's something you'd be interested in doing and contributing towards, so that I can actually cover those things for you. I really want to be able to do that for you, but I can't do it at my own financial peril, unfortunately. So any help I can get in that area would be great. I do want to hear from you guys and get your opinion on that and tell me what you think about it, if it's a good idea or not. Kathleen says she loves the idea. One of the things Carol had mentioned is she said she loves my confidence, which is funny because I'm not overly confident at all. I think I'm just a regular person, but it's easy to talk to you guys because you're just like me, so it's easy to talk to you. But I have had a huge issue with confidence in the course of my life, and I have allowed public opinion, family's opinions, friends' opinions, enemies' opinions to influence how I think about myself in the past. And I've learned through time how to navigate that as a plus-size person and to enjoy my life and make the most of the life that I have, to appreciate the body I have and what it can do and what it's capable of, and to just really get to like myself and enjoy being around myself. And you know, at 48 years old, you starts to all come together. So I'm kind of, I've been working for many months. I've been talking about it over and over again. I've been working on it for about now 7-8 months, plus size confidence series. Some of the things I'm doing a lot of research on them. And then of course, some of the topics are very personal, and I'm kind of like deciding how personal I want to be. How much do I want to share? How deep do I want to get? And I know that people have asked me over and over again, how is it that you manage to have confidence? How are you so confident at Disney? How are you so confident in these videos? What can you do? Can you talk to my teenager about it? Can you talk to me about it? You know, people of different ages and backgrounds who are all plus size are interested in hearing how I managed it. And, you know, I want to share that with you guys, and I am working on it. It is taking longer than I had anticipated, but it will be coming to you in the form of videos that I'll post on here. And I'll try to keep everything sort of Disney-centric so you can see how to apply some of these confidence techniques to your visits at Disney. But you'll also be able to see how these techniques and these approaches to thinking and approaches to life can also apply to different areas of your day-to-day life as well. So I definitely want to bring that to you guys. I'm not any sort of confidence guru. I am not a self-help guru. I am not a psychologist, a psychotherapist, an analyst. I am not licensed or certified in any way, but you know, I'd still like to be able to help people out. Oh, a lot of people have been saying things. Let's see. You have made going to Disney so fun with your advice. Thank you, Donna. You have great ideas, says my Snook. Tiger Lace says, yes, all the things, would love to know what we are working towards helping out as your vids are so helpful. Joanna says, that's amazing. Joanna says, yes. Serena likes the fashion idea. Gina says, I would follow all your channels. You are honest, down to earth, and great with details others don't think of. Seeing clothing on someone is helpful versus on the rack. Now, that in particular, saying that I have details that other people don't have, it's not me. It's you guys. You're telling me what you want to see, and I'm just listening and giving you what you say you want. So just keep doing that. Keep giving me feedback, because you're helping make these videos. You're shaping this channel. Pammie Plus Parks is your channel. And then I have one here that says, thanks for your videos. I am the same size as you and have been curious about if I could fit into these rides. Would it be worth visiting Disney? And yes, please do the clothing reviews. Okay. Carol says, I would support you on Patreon. Yay. Oh, Glenda, I hope you do come back to us again when you finish your call. Alex says, I've been following since the beginning of your channel and you have helped me gain my confidence back. That's awesome. It was always there. We're just bringing it back out. We're just helping it come back out. Oh my gosh, Tiger Lily. You're the first person to ever do a super chat. I totally forgot about super chat. That's something else you guys can do to help contribute to the channel during these live streams. You can super chat. You can donate money towards the channel, and all that super chat money will go right into the bank account that goes towards buying the Disney passes and hopefully the Universal passes too. Thank you so much, Tiger Lily. My Snook says, I fight these issues in my head. I want to go back to in my head every day, and I am older than you. Hey, you know, you're never too old to have problems with confidence. We all have them. You're never too young. You're never too old. Carol, thank you for the money. Thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tiger Lily, for getting that ball rolling. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Carol, also for getting that ball rolling with Super Chat. I totally forgot about Super Chat. That is an awesome way to contribute. Thank you so much for that. It really means a lot to me. It shows me that, you know, I'm on a good path, kind of giving you guys the things that you want and need. So one other thing I wanted to talk about is the 1-year anniversary of this channel, which is August 7th. So you already know, I think I mentioned earlier, that I'll be going to Toy Story Land for that annual pass holder play date. So I'll be there, and I'll probably do like a little live stream on my Facebook group, on the Pammie Plus Parks Facebook group, just to kind of like check in with everybody and say hi. But sometime on that day, either on August 6th or August 7th, maybe when I get home from the parks, I'll go ahead and post a video. I took a poll on my Pammie Plus Parks Facebook group, and the overwhelming winner for topic for special anniversary issue video was for me like a little documentary. So I had a lot of suggestions about what to put in, high five, a lot of suggestions about what to put in the video. And the thing you guys seem to really want to know about is like how I got started, my inspiration, like where does my love of Disney come from? You know, how did I get started? What my inspiration was for the videos, and also kind of like telling you about my hopes and dreams of what I'm hoping and planning for the future and where I'd like to see this go. And Snow Bunny says, I just found your channel about 2 weeks ago. We leave Sunday to go to Walt Disney World for my parents' 50th anniversary. Amazing. My older brother hasn't been in 14 years and was scared he wouldn't fit on the rides. You're a blessing. Oh man, thank you. I'm so glad that is he watching these videos? I hope you're showing them to him and letting him know firsthand he can definitely fit on these videos. Also go to Pammie Plus Parks on Facebook, my group there. There's a lot of big and tall guys in that group. So if he wants to like ask questions, there's lots of people to answer questions there. Also, don't forget, one of my top favorite Facebook plus-size Disney groups is Disney Parks for plus-sized guests. Disney Parks for plus-sized guests. Go to Facebook and join that group. They have tons of people. They have over 30,000 people in that group. They can answer any questions that I might have missed. Do you ever wear ears? I make them for fun. Carol, I don't wear ears because I don't spend the money on them. I love the ears. I love them, and I always like go in the shops and stare at them and touch them and look at them. But if I'm gonna purchase something at Disney, I make it a shirt, because the shirt I can wear them to work on Fridays, I can wear them in the videos, I can wear them to the parks, I can wear them in my day-to-day life. So I usually invest my money in shirts and not ears. Yeah, I mean, you know, we keep a pretty tight budget. There's a reason why we're able to go to Disney, and we do some traveling, and we have this great home studio and things like that. But sometimes there's things that we can't have or do or get in order to be able to do that. And for me, having an experience doing something, physically getting out and doing something, is way more important than having a thing. So you aren't going to see me wearing ears very often, simply because I don't invest the money in them, but I do love them. I love the ears a lot. I think they're so adorable. And I love the ones that people make that are custom and gorgeous. And if you ever, Carol, if you ever want to like post pictures of your ears, we'll do like a special feed or special like thing. Just let me know about it ahead of time, and we'll put it on Pammie Plus Parks, and we'll promote your ears on there. But if you ever want to promote something on the Pammie Plus Parks Facebook group, make sure you message me first so I can look at it and kind of make sure I'm A-okay with it before we put it up. Let's see. Oh, okay. Karen was asking, she was doing a little research on the super chat option, and it says a portion goes to me. Do I know what percentage goes to me and what goes to YouTube? Yes. 70% goes to the creator, me, and 30% goes to YouTube. And they handle like that. I think that makes sense because they have to hire people to handle the super chat stuff and sort out the financials and cut you a check and mail it to you. Plus they want a little bit of money off of it too. I mean, it only makes sense. So that's reasonable to me. But yeah, I get 70% of whatever you put in a super chat. I'm just going to answer some more questions here. Oh, good. Snow Bunny, I'm so glad that both you and your brother are watching the videos. Wait, can you do a PO mailbox so we can send fan mail? That costs money. I'm so cheap. I'm so sorry. I'm so cheap. But yeah, eventually I will get a PO box so that you guys can send me fan mail and stuff like that. If you ever just want to like send me a message that's like private that everyone else can't see because you want to share a personal story, you're more than welcome to email me. And my email is pammiePlusParks@gmail.com. It's PammiePlusParks@gmail.com. So it's PammiePlusParks, one big word, @gmail.com. So anytime you want, even if you have like a personal question you don't want to post, you can do that there too. Carol, yes, you could absolutely send me some ears. We'll have to chat separately on Facebook through the Facebook group and work something out. I would love that. Snow White's my favorite character. I love her. She's my favorite princess. And Maleficent is my favorite villain, and so is the Evil Queen. I love villains too. Francels says, I love your videos and your approach to everything. Blessings. Oh, thank you. And Gina says, if you have a postal box, people could send gift cards, etc., which would help at the parks. You're genius. I never thought of that. That would be amazing. That would really be amazing. Let's see. That's awesome. Oh, Carol says she doesn't sell them. She tell them work 45 hours a week. Oh, so you don't sell your ears? Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll talk. Let's see. Alex says she started watching I'm not sure if Alex is male or female. I'm sorry. I started watching your videos before I went in September 2017 because it has been 15 years since I went, and I was very worried about fitting on the rides. Yeah, I mean, that's terrifying when you're going someplace and you have no idea if you're going to fit or not. And I know from personal experience, sometimes when you go someplace with family and friends and you don't fit or you're not comfortable, your family and friends get so upset on your behalf that they kind of even make it worse. They make a mountain out of a molehill, and all you just want them to do is go, it's all right, I don't fit, it's fine. There's other things here I fit on, it's okay. And you just want them to like not make a big deal out of it. And it can be like, I don't know, like even more mortifying and embarrassing because they're upset for you. I know that's tough. So I'm glad that you have this resource to kind of see what the rides look like before you go. Oh, I've been asked if I've ever tried any LuLaRoe clothing. I have a pair of leggings that somebody gave me, the tall and curvy 2, and I haven't tried them on yet because I cannot, like, they're this wide. They're as wide as my left calf. I don't see how much that's gonna, I don't know what that's made out of for fabric, but that better be some miracle fabric. It's got a lot of territory to cover. So I'm a little afraid to try them, but you know, I'm going to have to try them on eventually and see if they'll work for me. Let's see. Oh, Julie says she's sharing the channel. More people need to know about me or the channel. You're welcome, Julie. I'm happy to do this. I'm happy to like be a part of the plus size community, and I'm happy to contribute in any way to make sure that you guys have some resources to really kind of get out there and live life. Live a rich, full life. And sometimes You know, a plus size person, I have been in situations where I felt like I did not want to go out. I didn't want to go be with friends. I didn't want to be with family. I felt embarrassed about what I look like, and I didn't want to live my life. And so what was I doing? I was sitting at home on my butt, feeling sad and getting fatter because I wasn't moving my body. And it was getting worse and worse and worse. And when you get to that point in your life where you realize this is your life and you got to take control of it, and the first step to doing that is getting out of the house and doing things and trying things and being aware that, yeah, I'm a big person and I'm not always going to fit everywhere, but I'll be darned if I'm not going to try. You know, get out there and try and live your lives. You have to enjoy your life. You only have one life. Oh, let's see. Andrea, oh, you guys are crazy. Thank you so much, Andrea. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, is it Francells? I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Somehow I didn't fit in the Flight of Passage ride because of the leg restraint. That happened to me too. And I think there's a number of things about the Flight of Passage leg restraint, because they kind of go, I don't know if you can see, they kind of go like this, the leg restraints, and they pass underneath your thighs and they go up against your calves. And for me, I have gigantic thighs and I have really short calves. So trying to lift my legs up high enough so that they could pass under my thighs was tough for me. And on top of it, the day that I went, I was wearing shorts really baggy in the legs. And so as I was getting my legs up just high enough, they were catching on the fabric of the shorts. And they were just kind of like sticking in place. And so the cast member was like, could you pull your pants tighter so maybe these will slide under? And I'm trying to like grab my shorts and pull them tight against my skin and trying to hold my legs up. And it was a disaster. So it didn't work for me. But, you know, she suggested when I got off the ride, she said, you know, I see a lot of people wear leggings or jeggings or like snug clothes that cover their calves, or their thighs, sorry, that cover their thighs, and it makes it a little easier. So that might be what I do next time. Serena, thank you. You guys, you're unbelievable. Thank you. You were so generous. You are so generous. Let's see. Alex is a girl. Sorry, Alex. And that's how you felt at Universal in the Harry Potter ride. Yeah. Excuse me. I will tell you that my first early exit, I'm not calling it the walk of shame. Not doing it. Somebody suggested we call it an early exit. And I love that because you are exiting the ride earlier than you intended. You know, some people call it the, what is this, big butt strut or something like that, but that's not necessarily rated G. So I wanted a rated G term that anybody could use, male or female, feel comfortable using. And I think that the suggestion that I got was early exit, and early exit works great for me. It's not have any negative connotations to it. You're just exiting the ride early. So the first, not walk of shame, the first early exit that I ever had was at a Universal Studios ride. It was Dueling Dragons at the time, which later became a Harry Potter roller coaster. And I was mortified that I didn't fit. At the time, I think I weighed like 180 pounds. I was a size 18. And they put me in the fat people seat. And my butt just sat right on top of the fat people seat. Because at the time, the way the seats were designed, it scooped out for one butt cheek and then scooped out for the other butt cheek. But my butt cheek sat on the top of both of those things. That's how big my butt is. It was big then, it's even bigger now. It's just how it goes. Okay, so Carol, you do like the LuLaRoe leggings. I'm going to try them then. I have a pair. I'm just going to say I'm going to slip into them, but I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle, but I will try. Oh, yeah? Okay, so you said the same thing with the leggings, too, that you pulled them out of the bag, and it was like, oh, my God, bad investment, but they fit you. Okay, well, I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Oh, so you had the same problem with Flight of Passage where you couldn't get your legs up high enough. Yep, that's what it is. Different body shapes are different things. So, you know, it's, you had on leggings that day and it still didn't work for you? Now I'm worried. I'm still going to try it anyhow. You never know. Eventually they'll fix the ride. That's something I should share with you guys. So, I don't know how much I can share, but I kind of know people who know people. And from what I understand, every year the biggest rides in the park, not every year, but every 5 years, the biggest rides in the park have a renovation. They don't do them all at the same time, they stagger them out. So every 5 years or so, a different major ride in the parks will get its refurbishment. And I guess Flight of Passage has been open about a year now, so in about 4 more years they'll do a major refurbishment of the ride. And basically what they're doing is when people are unable to ride, they give you some fast passes, whether it's you're too large, you're too tall, you're too thick, your legs are too short. There's also people with certain mobility issues who haven't been able to get into the seat properly. Lots of people, about 20% of the people who try the ride can't fit, but 80% can, so your odds are still good. But they're collecting the stats, and for what they'll do with that, they don't know like why the person can't ride. They just are collecting the stats of how many people they give fast passes to. They have no, they aren't tracking like this many people are fat, this many people are tall. They're just, in general, these are the number of people that were not able to ride for whatever reason. So what they'll do with those stats is it'll help them decide how many of the seats that they will modify based on the percentage of people who are unable to ride. So they'll probably won't modify all the seats. They'll probably only modify 1 or 2 of them in a couple of the ride rooms, or maybe all of the ride rooms. I'm not sure how they'll do it exactly, but they'll make some modifications so that more people will be able to ride. That's a rumor only. I don't know for sure, but that's kind of the idea of what they're going for. They should be doing that in like 4 years or so. So you'll see that change. Let me see if I can get some more. Hey, Alpha Traveler. Hey, so good to see you in my live stream. Heather, thank you so much for that $5 super chat. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, you shouldn't feel ashamed if you have to make an early exit, if you're not fitting on the ride. You know, keep this in mind, everyone. The person who's embarrassed more than you will ever be is the engineer and the designer of that ride, because they're getting that feedback that people aren't fitting on the ride, which means they did a poor job with their design. That person is known in the industry. There are only so many people who design rides, and everyone knows that they didn't design that ride correctly. They're going to have that follow them their entire career, the issues and the fiasco that was created by that ride. You're just going to go on it one time and go, oh, it doesn't work, and walk off, and it's over. Maybe have a hour or two you feel grumpy or upset, but that person's got to carry that burden of that mistake the rest of their career. And that stinks. So I feel bad for that person more so than I do myself. Don't feel ashamed. It's not your fault that the ride wasn't designed for you. It isn't. It's the fault of the person who designed it that way, you know? That's just the way it goes. I mean, when you go to a shoe store, right, and you try on a pair of shoes and they don't fit you, you don't fall apart at the seams. You just go, oh, they don't fit. Well, let's find a pair that does, you know? Because those shoes are made for you. Teresa, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You are welcome, Teresa. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. That's going to definitely go towards the annual passes for Disney. If this keeps happening, if you guys keep contributing on this level, that's amazing. I will definitely be able to do Universal. That's amazing. You know, I do wish, Gina, that they would modify Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, but again, that ride isn't even ready for its 5-year modification yet. Not modification, but 5-year renovation. So when it comes time for it to have the 5-year renovation, I wonder if they're going to change the lap bars on that, because the ride itself is fine. Like, I find the seats fine, and I'm only 5'4", so I find the leg room absolutely fine. I know people who are taller, who are 6 feet and taller, find it really hard to ride. But that lap bar, those lap bars are a disaster. I hope they change some of the lap bars. Julie said it was embarrassing at first, but it ended up better. Yeah, you know, no matter how high your confidence is, you're going to be a little flustered if you don't fit on a ride. No matter what, as you're exiting, you're going to feel flustered. That's the way it is. But, you know, don't beat yourself up for it. You have a whole rest of your day at Disney and a whole rest of your vacation. And people, generally, you're traveling with somebody and you want them to have a good time too. Just gotta move on. It's like anything in life. It's like if you ordered a meal and you're like super excited about it and you thought it was going to be delicious and it tastes gross. send it back to the kitchen and move on, order something else, you know? It's the same type of concept. This didn't work for you. It wasn't the right thing. You maybe have been looking forward to it. It's sad it didn't work out, but it's not the end of the world. Let's see. Will you be doing a video on Space Mountain? Yes. Yes, I will. I don't love Space Mountain. It's not the best roller coaster in the parks. I get it. It's classic. You know, I remember it from my childhood and everything, but I feel like it only goes about 33 miles an hour. It doesn't have any major dips or turns or anything. It's very rickety sounding. It's and it jerks you around. It's not that fun, in my opinion. I don't think it's the most fun roller coaster. It's kind of cheesy to me compared to all the newer ones that are out. It's okay for me to get into. Climbing out of it, there's not much to hang on to, and the leg space is weird, and you're in a sitting position. I'm very ungraceful getting out of it. So there's other rides I like better, but I will do it for you. Even though I don't like it, I'll do it for you. So Joanna's going to start a YouTube channel, and she wants advice on what camera or how to edit. Well, the camera I use is a Canon G7, yes, a Canon G7X Mark II. And it's really, really kind of like the gold standard for vloggers, for cameras. It really depends on the type of vlog that you're going to do on YouTube. If you're going to be traveling and walking around, that's a great camera for you. But if you're going to be doing like close-up work and DIY and crafts and things like that, there may be other cameras that would be better for you. It depends on what you're doing. Go to the vlogger, the type of vlog that you're looking to do, and ask that person for advice on the type of camera to use. But for me, the G7X is great because it has a screen that flips up so I can do selfies and still see myself. It's got great built-in stability, and it does great photography. It gets great images inside of the dark rides. So I love that camera. It works great. Let's see. Oh, you meant being in the wheelchair due to not being able to walk the parks. Oh, yeah, you know, I know it can be rough. People don't realize how much walking there is at Disney, and it seems like it will be doable. But it can be really excruciating on your feet and your legs, especially if you don't rest during the day. Like, my recommendation is go at rope drop, get there early, do a bunch of rides, have your lunch at 11 o'clock in the morning, do some more stuff, rest again, go back to your hotel, take a nap, take a shower, take a swim, and then come back in the evening well rested. And you'll have a much better time of it than if you stay the entire day. That's just grueling, and you probably end up doing less because you're so exhausted. So yeah, use an ECV, use a wheelchair if you have to make yourself be able to do more. Look who it is, Ms. Rocha. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you could join the live stream. Yes, and Disney Pals Plus is another one of my favorite Facebook groups. They have a lot of great advice. The members there they're so sweet and nice and lovely and kind. But my favorite thing about Disney Pals Plus is the friendship and the family that's there. And if you just want a place to go to every single day on Facebook where you're going to see fun stuff that's Disney related and just really darling, wonderful people, that's a fantastic, warm, friendly, fun group to join on Facebook. That's Disney Pals Plus. Karen, I'm so glad that you said that. Thank you. You guys make me feel better about myself because you're all here like telling me how awesome I am, and all I'm doing is making some videos. You're amazing. I bet you have fun at Disney World. Well, yeah. It's the happiest place on earth. I always have a great time there. You know, I have been to Disney about 500 times since 1971. And every time I drive under that archway where it welcomes you to Walt Disney World, I still get butterflies in my stomach, and I still get worked up, and I still get excited, and I still have a grin from ear to ear on my face, especially with Magic Kingdom, and I just love it. There's always something to do, always something to see. There's always something new. There's always wonderful people to watch, look at. It's fantastic. So, Alex, if you are a size 18-20 and you're 5'10", you're not going to have any problem, I think, with the leg restraints. sorry, the lap bar. The lap bar on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is 13.5 inches wide, the opening. And you should be able to get, especially if you have longer, slender, like thinner legs than I do. I have giant ham hock legs. You should be able to get your knees in between those lap bars and you'll be comfortable. 5'10", your knees might be right up against the front of the ride, the seat in front of you, but you'll be okay. I think you're going to fit just fine. And as an 1820, your booty's going to be fine in that seat. I mean, my gigantic booty fits in there, 350 pounds, 5'4", and I'm fine. So I think you'll be okay on that ride. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I don't know, have you guys seen this comment from this guy here? It says, yeah, but the G7X sucks because you can't use a mic with it. Pammie and I butt heads all the time over this camera. You know who that is? That's my husband. He wants me to get a gigantic like DSLR camera with all these extra lenses that you attach and that weighs like 8 pounds, and my fat, sad bingo wing arms cannot hold that. The bingo wings, they cannot tolerate an 8-pound camera. It's not going to happen. I like my little G7X camera. It's fantastic. I love it. You're not going to talk me out of it, Mark. So Mark's in here, guys, and he's like commenting. Let's see. Space Mountain used to be Alex's favorite ride when Alex was 11. He rode it with her dad about 10 times in a row. Really? You're going to love Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. You're going to like not even remember Space Mountain when you go on that ride. You're going to forget all about it. Thank you, Alpha Traveler 1. Always appreciate your support. Thank you. Let's see. Carol says she uses an ECV when you go. Most likely, I broke my foot and tore my ligament last week. I love that you have included wheelchair access information. You're welcome for that. I think a lot of people use ECVs. You know, they're either using them for themselves or somebody in their family. And I know a lot of people rent an ECV and they have a big group of people. Maybe they have like 4 to 6, 8 people in their party, and they take turns riding it. Nobody has any major health issues necessarily, but just to make sure everybody stays well rested, and it's a good place to put all the backpacks and the junk and the stuff while you ride around. In the summer, when you're trying to keep a backpack on your back, it's so hot. The backpack's hot. So having that ECV is kind of like a shared vehicle for people. It's wonderful. Thank you, Ms. Rosa. You guys, I love you guys. Alpha Traveler 1 says, Alex, I can only do Space Mountain twice or I would fall out. It's bumpy, right, man? I think it's bumpy. There's so much smoother roller coasters. You know which ones you're really going to try? Alex, come on. Are you going to be going to the other parks? You need to go to Hollywood Studios. You need to get on Slinky Dog. You're going to love that. But if you want a really thrilling, dark ride roller coaster, Rock and Roller Coaster is where it's at. Gotta go on that. You have to go on that. You're gonna love it. Heather says, I cry every time we go. The last time was with my grandpa about 10 years ago. Oh, he passed away a few years back. I'm so sorry. I was very close to my grandfather. I know that's a special relationship. Heather has a daughter now that didn't get to meet him. Oh, so I know the tears will be flowing. I have my moments when I'm sitting in Magic Kingdom and taking a break and I look around and I'm watching the people walk around and I'm like, memories will come. You're gonna make me cry. Memories will come up. Oh man, don't make me cry. Memories will come up about my grandfather because my grandfather's the one who instilled my love of Disney in me because he loved it so much. And like, I'll see a grandpa and a granddaughter and I'll be like, so it's happy memories and they're happy tears. So you go there, you cry those happy tears. So I've had a few of them, more than a few of them at Disney. A lot of great memories there. Let's see. Alex says, my booty is big, girl. My booty is big. This is a big booty. Your 1820 booty is tiny compared to mine. I mean, you can, if you want to think it's big, whatever, but mine's bigger. What are my top 5 rides? Are you serious? You're gonna make me choose? Gosh. All right, so Haunted Mansion. Peter Pan. I'm into Peter Pan. Rock and Roller Coaster. Toy Story Midway Mania. Love that ride. I'm going to say Pirates of the Caribbean. Just like a classic ride from when I was a kid. So those are my top 5 rides right now. It could change at any minute. Don't hold me to it, because I'll change my mind like in 5 minutes. Yes, Gina, the heat in Florida can be really tough. You're going to Disney on November 23rd, wondering about the general weather. Is it usually cooler? Well, it's not August. It's still warm. It gets like into the 80s, mid to upper 80s at some points during the day, in the middle of the day. It's not cool. There's a lot of humidity still, but it's not like horrifyingly hot. Like in November, I can still wear makeup. I have worn jeans and a long sleeve t-shirt and makeup in November with my hair down. So that's, if that means anything to you, like if I could wear my hair down, it's not that bad. So, but don't expect it to be like autumn leaves and breezes and cool crisp apples, and it's still warm. It's still warm. Do I ever go to the water parks? I have never been to the water parks. If I get to renew my passes, well, I will renew my passes next year, but if I can, if it turns out financially I do it, I'm going to see if I can upgrade my pass so that I can get the water parks too. We do have GoPros, so I have waterproof cameras, and I would love to be able to cover those parks for you, so I'm going to try to do that. Heather said she didn't mean to make me cry. Your grandfather passed down his love for Disney as well. See, you know, but it's like happy tears. It's okay. I don't mind crying if it's happy tears. And that's usually when I cry. Paige and Mr. Morrow, are you serious? Is that Nate or Veronica? I love you guys. Do you know I love you? I love you. I don't understand how we are always in the parks, the same parks on the same days, and we never see each other. I find that really hard to believe. Something's going to change. We're going to run into each other. Paging Mr. Morrow is a fantastic channel. Alpha Traveler 1, if you're a vlogger, check him out. He's got a lot of great stuff on there. He's got a lot of good Disney stuff. He's got a lot of great stuff to help YouTube vloggers too. And Paging Mr. Morrow, Nate and Veronica are like sweet and funny and awesome, and they do great videos. But one of my favorite things that they do is they go to the character warehouses and they like do videos about that to show you what's in the character warehouse that week. And that's a great place to shop for bargains. Carol says Space Mountain was her first roller coaster when you were 4. Whew. Mom didn't want her to ride. Oh, let's see. So your dad had to hold your shoulders to keep you on the ride? That's crazy. When was that? Was that like the 80s or the 90s or something? I mean, they probably would have done it when I was a kid in the 80s, but like, wow, that 4 is crazy young to go on that ride. Alexander says, hi, just came across your channel searching for information on Flight of Passage. I have a fluffy boyfriend and we're going in October. Have you gone on it recently? I haven't. It's really hard for annual pass holders to get a fast pass for that ride, and because I'm a lazy lady and I don't want to go, I live almost 2 hours away from the park, so driving all the way up there for 2 hours and standing in line for 3 hours, and then I have to get out of the line, and like by the time I have lunch it's time for me to go home. I don't really want to do the ride unless I have fast pass. And I think I'll be able to get a fast pass once school is back in session. So maybe like late August, September, October, somewhere in there. I'll see if I can grab a fast pass for the ride, and I'll try to cover it again. Bye, Chinook. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome for all the hard work. It is hard sometimes, but it is still fun, and I love doing it for you guys. I love it when you guys are saying hi to each other. Say hi to Paging Mr. Morrow. You said I have to go. Oh, yeah. What do you mean? Paging Mr. Morrow, do you mean? Oh, Veronica, what are you saying? Like, I have to go to the Flight of Passage again, or to the water parks? Have you guys been to the water parks? Paging Mr. Morrow, Veronica, have you, Nate, gone? I don't remember. Yeah, yes, you have. You did like the nighttime thing. I remember that. That would be fun to do. Mandy says, Gina, I have been in November and I've sweated the whole week. I've also been in November and had to buy a hat and gloves. It was so cold. Florida weather in November is always uncertain. Yeah, some days it's a little more crisp and cool than other days, but I feel like there's still a lot of humidity in November, even though the temperatures are a little lower. I know, like, why aren't we ever meeting up, Veronica? It's crazy. Let's see. Oh my gosh. So it was the 1980s when you went on Space Mountain and you were 4 years old? That's crazy. I don't think they'd allow that anymore. Is the river ride in Pandora fun? Well, it depends on what your version of fun is. I find it peaceful and relaxing. There's the relaxing music, and there's lots of very interesting things to look at and sounds and things, but I find it very peaceful and relaxing. If you like chill, laid back stuff, then you will find it fun. If you don't, you might find it boring. Alex says last time she went to Walt Disney World, he forced you to go on a small world and you hated it. He passed, oh, your grandfather, you mean. Your grandfather passed away 2 years ago. So when my fiance and I went in September, we rode it and I couldn't stop crying. Some people cry on It's a Small World because they hate it. But you now have kind of like, I mean, I don't know, don't turn it into a sad memory. Just turn it into a happy memory and think of your grandfather looking down on you or being with you as you're riding that ride and having him know that you're riding it in his honor. And maybe that'll make it more of a happy memory for you. Oh, the water parks. Okay, so Veronica says I need to go to the water parks, and she has only been once. Well, I mean, I know how you like, girl, you walk around wearing a sweater and long sleeve shirts in the summer. So, I don't know, are you ever going to go to the water park during the daytime? Because if you do, I'll go with you. I'll go with you if you want to. Don't be scared. I'll go with you. Yes, Alpha Traveler 1 has some great advice for Alex and her, like, missing her grandfather. And he says, celebrate the beauty and celebrate him as a person. That's the greatness of Disney trips. That's why they're so special. You know what you could do, Alex, is you could get, like, a little celebrate button or some kind of, like, thing, a memento, or maybe have a shirt made in your grandfather's honor and wear that. And maybe go on his favorite ride and kind of, like, dedicate that to him. I think that would be an awesome way to remember him. Tom says he's around 400 pounds, but 6'6". Will my height make it more difficult for me to go on rides? Yes, there will be some rides that you're going to find challenging with leg room. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, the boat rides. You can still go on the boat rides, but let me tell you something right now, Tom. Do not sit in the front row of any boat. Although it looks like there's extra room in there, there is not. The front of the boat is generally like shaped like this. So you actually end up having less leg room. Don't go on the front. Most of the boat rides have, they're like bench seats. So they're open underneath. So you can actually stick your legs underneath it and have a little more leg room. So that is a big tip for those rides. Go to Disney Parks for plus-sized guests. Go to Disney Pals Plus, and then check out Pammie Plus Parks, all on Facebook. They're all Facebook groups. Ask your questions about specific rides on there, and people will be able to help you, people who are your height. I'm only 5'4", so I'm not going to have a lot to offer in that department, but I have family members who are well over 6 feet tall. I am the shortest person in my family. Can you tell I'm adopted? Because everyone else is over 6 feet tall, and I'm 5'4". But yeah. Like, I know that they have sometimes where they feel a little uncomfortable, but sometimes on a ride, if you're super, super tall, you can even ask to sit alone and, like, turn your legs to the side to feel more comfortable. Carol says, I love Disney, still terrified of Mickey to this day, though. He traumatized me and ended up in the ER with staples and stitches in my head, but I'm still a Disney nut. Carol, that is a crazy story. How in the world did that happen? Did you fall and hit your head when you got scared? I mean, I have a Minnie Mouse story. Like, I did not like Minnie Mouse when I was a little girl because when I was like 3 years old, she tugged on my braids and I hated her after that. We've made up since then. I mean, she's okay. Serena says, paging Mr. Morrow, Pammie Plus Parks, my worlds are colliding, and I love it. Two of my favorite YouTubers. Man, I love Veronica and Nate, too. I love paging Mr. Morrow. They're fantastic. You know, Veronica, get over your self-consciousness. That's ridiculous. You're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You are perfect in every way. You have an amazing personality. Beautiful, beautiful girl. Just own the fact that you're gorgeous and beautiful and fantastic and everyone loves you, and we'll go to the water parks together. I mean, I'm going to wear a bathing suit that goes down to here, like, but I'll go to the water park with you. And, you know, I'm like twice your size, Veronica. Like, they'll be looking at me, not you. Don't worry, because I'm so amazing, right? She says we should 100% do a water park. I wear long sleeve with shorts. I will too. I don't care. I'll wear the same. I don't care. I'm going to wear what I need to wear to feel comfortable when I go to a water park. And if that means like a crazy, like old-fashioned, old-timey 1920 style wool bathing suit, then that's what I will do. Whatever makes me feel comfortable, I'm going to do what I have to do so I can enjoy it. Gina says, what I love about Disney is that there are thrilling rides and some relaxing. I never feel terrified like in other parks. That's true. Like some of the rides in some of the parks are just like I look at some of the Universal rides and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover that ride for you guys when I start doing Universal someday, because that's terrifying to me. But I'll do my best. I'll figure it out. There's a lot of rides at Disney that I thought I would never get on, like Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster. I know Veronica hates that ride. But I do them anyhow, and I love them. Once I got on them, I loved them. So. Yes, Gina, save Navi River ride for a break. That's a great time to rest. I was kicked out of Disney parks for plus M. What does that mean? I was kicked out of Disney parks for plus M. Veronica, you gotta explain what that means. You're welcome, Tom, for the heads up. No idea why for plus M. You mean kicked out of the parks completely for something? Tell me more about that, Veronica. Carol Paul says, I'm adopted too. Power to the adopted. Power! Yeah, you know, there's only 2% of the population is adopted, so we are rare and special creatures. We are like the unicorns of humankind. It was my dad, and it was a happy memory because now I'm torturing my fiance with it. Anything you can torture your fiance with, I'm sure is good, right? Let's see, when we went, this is Carol telling her story about how Mickey traumatized her. We went when I was 5, and my sister and I ran up to see him. He sneezed, his arm hit me in the head, and I feel it hitting me on the head, and I felt my head hitting on the curb. His head feel off to exposing a female body. Oh, so Mickey went achoo like that and like hit you, and your head hit the curb, and then Mickey's head came off, and there's a woman inside the costume. I'm sorry. That is terrible. I'm a terrible person for laughing at that because you were a little girl. That's so sad. That's terrible, and I'm laughing, and I'm a terrible person. I already know. You guys, now you know. You thought I was nice. You thought I was a good person. I laugh at a child getting knocked over and smacked in the head by Mickey Mouse. I'm sorry. That's terrible. I'm sorry about that, but what a story. What a story. You got your entire vacation comped because of it, though, Carol, so I guess that's good, right? Just nobody's adopted too? Are you serious? That's great. Like, 3 adopted people in the same place. The universe is going to implode. 3 adopted people in the same place at the same time. I don't know. Let's see. So, Kathleen, you took your daughter on Space Mountain when she was 9 in 1991, and you kept your hands on her shoulders, and she still tells you you didn't need to do that. Well, I mean, at 9, I think that's better, but like she was 4 when Carol's parents took her on. She was 4, so they had to hang on to her. Oh, paging Mr. Veronica said she was sharing how she didn't fit in Flights of Passage, and they banned you? Like, did they tell you you couldn't go on Flights of Passage ever again? Or did they tell you you can never go in Animal Kingdom again? You gotta give me these details. I want to know what's going on. That's unbelievable. I mean, I believe you, but I just like, that's crazy. So Snow Bunny says she's taking her DNA test tomorrow to start a journey on finding anything. You know what? I did the same thing a while back, and I really didn't. I mean, I found out quite a bit, but the people I tried to contact didn't want to get in touch with me. They didn't respond to me. So I assume that my adoption is kind of like a huge secret, and they've moved on with their lives. And be prepared for that possibility that could happen, and don't be disappointed. Just know that you did your part. You tried to find them and contact them and let them know you had a good life and all that good stuff. But if they're not receptive, then that's a possibility, because that hit me kind of hard. I assumed that they would want to know how I was doing, but they didn't. So, but you know, I have wonderful family and friends, so I'm good. And Disno Bunny says, always wondered if Mickey was a guy or girl inside. I think they have I think you have to be 5'2" or something in that range to be Mickey. And your limbs have to be a certain like thickness and stuff. So you have to have slimmer limbs. So I don't think it matters if you're male or female. I just think you have to meet the physical requirements to be whatever character that you're doing. I don't think they care if you're male or female, if you're a costume character, as long as you meet the physical requirements. So I think a lot of times it ends up Mickey and Minnie are both females portraying the characters. Carol, you still can't be in the presence of Mickey because it makes you almost have a panic attack. And I laughed at you. I'm terrible. I am so sorry. Well, yeah, that's a very traumatic memory. I mean, it's really awful. I'm so sorry that I laughed. I'm a jerk. I just, ugh. But the whole thing, I mean, sneezing and then like the whole thing, it was like a domino effect. It's incredible. So Kathleen says she's adopted too. 5 people in her family are. She's the youngest and her oldest brother is 18 years older than you. Wow. That's amazing. She said, Tom, I guess Mickey was self-identifying as Minnie that day. So you're saying out of nowhere, no, I meant the group. I don't know, Veronica, what you're talking about. We're going to have to talk later. I'm confused. I feel like I missed something, Veronica. Any tips on using those cooling towels? Do they work? They can work. They can work very well. I don't always carry them with me because it can be kind of a hassle. My tips on using a cooling towel is to wet it, soak it all the way through thoroughly before you leave your home or hotel room. Squeeze out the excess and put it in a plastic bag inside your bag, because it's really hard to get the cooling towel completely soaking wet because of the type of fabric that it's made out of. So you want to kind of like get it pre-soaked. Then when you're ready to use it, go ahead and re-wet it, wring it out, and then you want to make sure you take one end in one hand, one end in the other hand, and then boom, 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 snap it 3 times. Then it's going to activate the cooling properties of the fabric, and you're going to find it works a lot better. The cooling towel will stay cool. Most cooling towels stay cool about 2 hours, and then you have to reactivate them again. Hi, super enthused. Well, Carol, I'm glad that it's funny to you now, and I'm sorry that you have panic attacks over Mickey. I mean, that is very traumatic. Alpha Travel 1 saying hi to everybody. The Mickey thing is funny, not the adoption. Adoption can be funny, I think. Sort of. Maybe. Oh, okay. So we have some advice from, I'm going to say, KM Gomel. The cooling towels are perfect for everyone. They really work. That's great. So Veronica, no one ever understands you, right? Mandy is saying, Veronica was saying she was kicked out of the Facebook group, not the parks. Oh, so there was a Facebook group that you were in that kicked you out because you said you didn't fit in Flight of Passage. Well, that's ridiculous. I'll be using an ECV in February. Does anyone know if there are charging stations in all parks? Tom, there are charging stations throughout the parks in different areas. If you are using one that you get in the parks, when you're in the parks, that is a Disney one. If it runs out of charge, they'll replace it for you. If you're renting one from an outside company, certain outside companies do have contracts with Disney that allow them to come inside the park. If your battery completely dies and you can't get it operational, you just call the ECV company. They can come inside the park and replace your ECV for you. So check into that. Ask the company before you rent from them if they can do that. Let's see. Oh, the Disney Parks for Plus Size Guests threw you out of... Oh, we have to have a talk about that. Maybe we can get you reinstated. I know some people, because I think you have a lot to contribute to that group. Karen says there are some areas to charge your ECV in each park, but they are not specific to ECVs. You will likely not run out of battery, though, if you turn it off while you're waiting in line, etc. 102276 says, are Big Thunder and Ever similar in seat width and fit? I am doing it after hours on August 11th. I want to use that time with a low attendance to ride Thunder and Mine Train. Thunder and Everest. They're different seating. Big Thunder Mountain is a bench seat that will fit 2 plus-size persons. I have a friend who's a size 22, 24. I'm a size 30, 32. I'm 350 pounds. She probably weighs in the 200-pound range. The two of us are able to sit next to each other on Big Thunder Mountain, and the lap bar comes down as far as my tummy will allow it to come down. Just so you know, the lap bars on roller coasters like that aren't really there to secure you in the ride, because the way the ride's designed, you're not going to fall out. The lap bar is really there to encourage you to stay seated. Staying seated is what keeps you in the ride. So even if you're riding with someone who's a little smaller and the lap bar doesn't go all the way down to their stomach, they're still going to stay in the ride as long as they stay seated. Everest is 2 individual seats, and each seat has its own U-shaped lap bar. The lap bar is like 15, 16 inches wide of space in between to put your legs in. I have no issue whatsoever with that. The lap bar is very comfortable. The individual bucket seats are very roomy. I have no issue with that either. I think you're going to find that very comfortable. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is a little bit different. I find the seat roomy and comfortable. I find the leg room sufficient. However, the U-shaped lap bar has only 13.5 inches of space in between the lap bar. It's really hard for a plus-size person with thick legs to squeeze their legs between. But I believe that men usually tend to have slimmer legs and have an easier time with it. So you might be okay on that. But just keep in mind that it's tough to get both of your knees through those bars. In fact, I cannot. When I pull the lap bar down, it has one leg in it and one half of the other leg, and one of the metal bars lays right over the top of my kneecap. So I don't really love that ride because it's a bit uncomfortable for me. But it's still doable if I want to. Yes, super enthused. Any group that kicks Veronica out doesn't know what they're missing. Let's see. I'll tell you what, though. Like, we'll talk about it later and find out what's going on with that. Maybe you could get back in that group if you want to. I don't know. I can't promise anything. Carol says, I'm going for 4 days with a coworker, and I have all 4 outfits planned with out ears and shirts and shorts, accessories and shoes. Can't wait to go. Yeah, getting packed can be so much fun. You're welcome, 102276. Worst ride is Mine Train, says Veronica. Why is it the worst ride to you? Oh, so squishy. Yeah, because I can't get my legs between that lap bar. It's miserable, but the ride itself is still fun if you can get your legs in there. Heather says, I know this isn't Disney related, but my family is looking into doing an airboat ride while in Florida. Any recommendations? I wish. I want to go on an airboat ride so bad. And one of our little Florida excursions, because Mark and I do all kinds of cool stuff on the weekends, not just Disney. And he will not go on an airboat ride with me because he thinks an alligator is going to come fly out of the water and bite him. I don't think that's going to happen, but he thinks he's going to get gator attacked. He thinks he's going to be setting himself up to be gator bait. I have to work on him. I don't have any recommendations, but if I did, I would share. Oh, Carol says Billy Corey's or Corey Billy's is amazing for airboat rides in Naples. Oh, yes, I sure did. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if there's some private conversations going on here. That's okay. I'm fine with that. Are there lockers near Cali River Ride? You know, I'm not exactly sure where the lockers are around there, but there are lockers to put your stuff in for Cali River Rapids. Do you guys know that Cali River Rapids is the only ride left at Disney that I have not been on? The only one. And it's not because I'm afraid of it, and it's not because I think I won't fit, although I know some people have struggles with the lap belts. It's because I don't like getting soaking wet and then walking around being soaking wet all day, and I don't want to bring extra clothes with me. So, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but I'm going to have to cover it for you sometime this summer, and I think I'm just going to have to suck it up and bring some dry clothes with me in my backpack. I'll bring a backpack and stash that in a locker and then just do it, because I got to show you the ride. I have to do it, even though I hate getting wet. Heather says, that's so funny. I went once when I visited a friend while back, but can't for the life of me remember the name. Tell him you need to go. It's a lot of fun. Oh, you're talking about the airboat rides? I know. He actually thinks a gator is going to come flying out of the water and bite him. I am not joking when he's a reasonable human being. He has all of his marbles. He's got his head screwed on straight. But for some reason, that guy thinks that a gator is going to come flying out of the water and just like bite him. I don't know. That's not going to happen. You make it the last ride of the day. Cali River Rapids, yeah, make it the last ride of the day. That's what everybody's saying. But you guys don't understand. I have a 2-hour ride home after I get wet. So I gotta have dry clothes. I can't sit in a car wet for 2 hours as I drive home. So change into swimmies first. I'll wear a bathing suit on. Maybe I could. That would be quite the look. Will you do a video on Splash Mountain? Yeah, I'll do a video on Splash Mountain. I love Splash Mountain. I just need to like make sure I bring my waterproof camera with me, but I can definitely do that. I love that ride. That's one of my favorites. You know what I really love about Splash Mountain? Although I didn't list it as one of my favorite rides, I still think it's one of the, if you have to pick only one ride to go on at Disney that encapsulates everything that Disney is, to me, Splash Mountain is that ride because it's an indoor dark ride. It's an outdoor ride. It's a slow, relaxing, meandering ride when you're doing the river type stuff. It's a fun ride where you're bouncing on the little bunny hills and stuff like that, and the little mini splashes and the mini drops. And it's also a thrill ride because of the huge 50-foot plunge, and it's a water ride. It's got animatronics, it's got songs, it's got great landscaping, it's got a wonderful themed queue. It's got a beginning, a middle, and an end of the storyline in the ride. It's got everything. That ride has everything. And it's 9 minutes long. It's one of the longest rides in all the parks. That's why it's one of the best. You could wear a poncho to stage ride. What, on Cali River Rapids? But the seats are wet. So even if you have a poncho on, my big booty is still going to get wet. So I don't know. I don't like wearing ponchos. I'm not a poncho person, but maybe I will. Let's see. Ever think about doing a meet and greet with some bigger folk and we could try out the park together? If you find that creepy, I totally understand. Join Disney Parks for Plus Size Guests. They have a sister group where it's a meetup group. And like once a month there's a meetup. And I've gone to, I think they've had like 4 of them, and I've gone to like 2 or 3 of them. So you can run into me at those meetups. I go to those meetups whenever I possibly can. They're a lot of fun. So yeah. Join Disney Parks for Plus-Sized Guests on Facebook. And like I said, they have a sister Facebook group that you can join through there where you can actually meet other plus-size people in the parks. It's great. Please cover Cali River Rapids. Your videos are so helpful. I'm going to learn how to speak. Your videos are so helpful for my family. You rock. Thank you so much. I will be happy. How about a cheap plastic poncho? Yeah, I know, ponchos. You can wear ponchos on the wet rides, but like, I guess like, I put the poncho on and I immediately like feel like I'm 856,000 degrees and I start sweating buckets, you know? And then I feel like I take the poncho off and I'm as wet as if I had had the poncho off because I sweat so much underneath the thing in summer. It's crazy. I wish there was a Disneyland vlogger like this. I was terrified my first time going there. I wish I were that Disneyland vlogger, Veronica. I want to go to Disneyland and do Disney parks someday in Disneyland. And you know, Tokyo and Shanghai and Paris. That would be amazing if I could do all the Disney parks. That would be great. But you never know. Maybe somebody will start it up in Disneyland. Carol says, we tricked my brother onto Splash Mountain. We told him he could get off at the top. You're so mean. You told him he could get off the ride at the top. And I thought I was bad for laughing at your Mickey Mouse story. You're terrible. Carol, you are awful. How funny is that? I love Splash Mountain, both plus size and tall person friendly. It definitely is. Yeah, Tom says, shame on you, Carol. See, I'm not the only one. Now I don't feel bad about laughing at your Mickey Mouse story. That's so mean, but funny at the same time. Let's see. He loved it and made us do it again. Oh, he did love it. So see, sometimes when you try things you don't think you're going to like that you're scared of, it turns out good. So it turned out with a happy ending. He loved the ride, even though you tricked him to go on it. Oh, okay, well, Karen says she tried the poncho in Cali River Rapids and it worked, so maybe I will do it. I don't know. Andrea says, I'd love to meet you at the parks. We go in October. And your mom loves me too. I love your mom too. That's awesome. You never know. Sorry about that. I gotta wet the whistle. I go to the parks like at least twice a month to vlog, and then sometimes I go 1 or 2 extra times with my husband, and it's just like a date night or a date day, and I don't do any vlogging at all because, you know, when I go, I usually do 4 videos at a time at each visit. So I'm the whole time have the camera up and I'm go, 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 and it's going to the next destination and catching the next bit of video. So that's not fun for the person who's with me. So a lot of times I just go by myself to do those so that we can have fun together. I put the camera away and it's just he and I. But whether I'm meeting with a Facebook group or I'm vlogging or I'm on a date night, if you see me, you can come and say hi. You know, that's awesome. I love it when people say hi. But I can't guarantee I'm going to be able to break off and like go hang out with you because I either have a really tight shooting schedule or I am with a group of people and I'm supposed to be spending time with them, or I'm with my husband and I'm spending quality time with him. So I can't necessarily break off and go hang out with people, but I can definitely say hello, and I love doing that. I love it when people recognize me. Sometimes I see people in the park and they're like, you know, they're like, they're giving me this look like, I think I know her, and you can kind of hear them whispering, but they don't come up to me and say that they know me or they think they know me. And I'm not sure if they're talking about me because I'm so fabulously beautiful, or or because they think I'm Pammie plus Parks. So I don't like to assume, and I feel weird going up to them going, hey, do you recognize me? I mean, how weird would that be, right? I can't go up to them and ask them if they know who I am. So you have to come up to me. I'm not going to come up to you and go, hey, you look like a big person. Do you know who I am? How cuckoo would that be? I could never do that. So come up to me and say hi. Let's see. What part of Florida are you from? Carol asks. Well, I actually am from Boston. If you want to know where I'm really from. But I've lived in Pinellas County, West Central Florida, most of my life. I've lived in North Florida too. I've lived in Central Florida. I lived in Orlando, Winter Park area, lived up there for a few years. So I've lived in a few places around Florida, but most of my life I have lived in Florida, in West Central Florida, Pinellas County area. Grew up on the beaches. Janine says she'd love to see me review the rides at Disneyland. I would love to see me review rides at Disneyland. I would love to go there. Hey, do you recognize me? Yeah, can you imagine, Veronica, if I was like seeing somebody who's chubby and just going, hey, do you recognize me? Do you know who I am? Hey, you look like you're a plus size person. Do you know me? Like, how freaky would that be? I could never do that. So I don't know, like, are those people whispering at me and looking at me because they think I'm super gorgeous or super fat or super famous? I have no idea where they're whispering. So don't just stand there and whisper. Come up and say hi. Let's see. Will you be at the parks during November 10th through the 18th? Honey, I don't know what I'm having for lunch tomorrow. I don't know. I'm sure sometime in November. I definitely will be there in November. I don't know when exactly. A lot of times I take a day off from work. I have a job where I've worked with my company for a really long time. I have several weeks of vacation a year. So a lot of times I take a weekday off in the middle of the week or at the end of the week or whatever. I get there at rope drop, I cover a bunch of rides, and by 2 o'clock I'm out. I'm headed back home so I can relax and go back to work the next day. And I do that because it's usually in the weekdays. In the mornings it's a lot slower. It's a lot easier for me to get my footage done that way. So, and I don't always post when I'm doing those. If I'm going to the park by myself, and I'm trying to get in and out and do a bunch of work, I won't necessarily go on the Pammie Plus Parks Facebook group and say I'm going, because, yeah, I don't know, I don't feel like that's the safest thing for me to do, to tell people I'm going to be alone in the parks or, you know, anything like that. So, but if I'm going with a group of people or meeting friends or I'm going with my husband, a lot of times I'll announce it ahead of time, or I'll announce it once I get there. Sometimes I do Facebook Lives once I'm in the park, so if you find me while I'm there, That's usually what I do. Let's see. Donna says, because of you, I went to Disney with my grandchildren, and at 50 years old, went on a roller coaster and many other rides, and I owe it to you. All right, the Silver Foxes, we got to get on those roller coasters. I'm 48. Yeah. Yeah, I know, it's hard to believe, right? Like, this is what 48 looks like. So yeah, I get you. Like, I never, if you would have asked me when I was like 18 years old, if I would be like going on supersonic roller coasters at the age of 48, I would have been like, are you out of your mind? I'll be retired. I'll be like in a wheelchair. I'll be like, you know, I'll be kicking back. No, I'm not going to be on roller coasters. But yeah, I'm on roller coasters. You can totally do it. You know, you're in reasonable physical condition. You can fit in the seat. Go for it. Carol lived in Palm Harbor down in Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda area. Oh, I'm familiar with that area. My Schnook says, Veronica, that skirt and sweater was so pretty on your recent blog. Yeah, Paging Mr. Morrow, Veronica, who's over at Paging Mr. Morrow, did like a photo shoot vlog recently, which I go to watch tonight before I go to sleep. And she wears the cutest outfit in that video. You have to go look at it. And they did great Instagram photos too. What does it say? The scariest ride for me was Tower of Terror. Did you guys see my Tower of Terror video? And like the look on my face where I was like, the whole time, like walking up. That was not fake. I was so scared going on that ride because I really didn't understand it. I didn't understand what it would be like. I didn't like the idea of like plunging drops. I have like a reoccurring nightmare with plunging drops in it. I was not looking forward to that. I thought there's no way I'm going to be comfortable on the seatbelt thing with the chair, and it's going to be terrible. And the whole way walking up to the building, you hear these blood-curdling screams of the people who are on the ride, and I just kept getting more and more anxious and more worked up. And then you get through the queue and you go into the library area where you're hanging out. There's my husband Mark. What, you want to come say hi? No, it's 9:30. Oh, it's 9:30? It's almost bedtime. I have to wrap it up. All right, we'll wrap up my story really quick. But yeah, so Tower of Terror was like, I was so scared approaching the ride. You go into the room where there's the library where they kind of like talk about the story of Tower of Terror and what the story is and kind of give you the background. Well, my friend Melanie was standing behind me and she could see that I was like shaking. So she went to pet my hair to like calm me down. And I screamed and like shot up in the air, like 3 feet in the air. She scared the living daylights out of me. I was so terrified. But I loved the ride after I went on it. It was great. Ghosts coming. Oh, never mind. Husband. Did you guys hear that door? Did it sound really creepy? It was like, Aah! He's like, it's 9:30. I usually go to bed at like 10 o'clock. So, and then we haven't had any time to like relax and talk to each other tonight. So I got to wrap this up. Sorry, guys. Carol says she loved Tower of Terror, but was tricked into it. See, but you deserve that. You tricked people on Space Mountain. Tricked into it. Family theme. Hello, Dad said it was a cooler Haunted Mansion. It's way scarier than Haunted Mansion. But you, Carol, you trick people. You're a trickster. You tricked someone to get on Space Mountain and told them they can get off at the top. What do you think's happened? They're going to trick you. You got tricked. You're going to deserve that. All right, guys. I don't know. Super long chat. Super fun. I love talking to you guys. You are wonderful. It was really fun talking to you tonight. Thank you so much for spending all this time with me. Thank you so much for all the amazing super chats. I'm blown away. I'm super excited about it, and I can't wait to apply that money towards the annual pass. I'm going to make good use of that. I can't even tell you how happy that makes me, and it makes me know that, you know, I'm doing some good work here, and I'm making some progress and helping some people enjoy their trips and their vacations, and that's what it's all about. I can't believe that I get to do this for you guys and how rewarding it is, and that you're helping me make it better and you're helping make it possible. So thank you, everyone, again. I hope you have a wonderful, magical night. Everybody rest well. A wonderful day tomorrow. It depends on what time of day you're watching this. If you're watching it later, thank you so much for sticking with me and watching this. And I'll see you real soon.